I
WrestleMania intermission. That's what that was.
Well, I used it for a piss break, so. And we're live.
Hey, buddy, what is going on? What is going on?
Not much, man. Yourself?
Welcome to part 2 of this week's show.
Part due. No offense, part due.
This will be the best sequel you'll ever watch. I promise you that, my friends.
All right, I just got to get these links out one more time. Here we go. Bam. Live again.
Yeah, let's try this out. And if it goes down again, I'm going to cry.
All right, well, we'll make the most of it. We always do.
We always do, and it's always me.
Well, no, I've had some technical difficulties. I remember one time my computer just went black for no reason, and I was like, "Oh,
that was the old one. That was the old one, right?"
Yeah, that was my old one that was dying a slow and painful death. And I was like, "Oh fuck, we're still streaming. I gotta get this thing booted back up." And you're like,
"Face is red. You were sweating." I'm on YouTube trying to see if I'm still on, and I was really jagged out. Oh, it was a good time.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna share this on my personal Facebook. And we're good to go, man. Ready when you are.
Joke. The spiking of my internet is crazy. I've never seen that before. Can't get a consistent signal anywhere. It's crazy. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. I have to call about my upload. I don't understand what's going on, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, your download looks good. Your upload looks a little like it looks like it should be good. I'm not an expert on this, but it looks like it should be good to stream, but it's not great. You know,
it's a 25 megabytes per second up is fairly good for any internet. But yeah, I don't know. Kojiko is just an asshole to me today. I don't know. It's just an asshole Sundays. I don't know why.
Oh well, whatever. We'll make the best of it, man. Hopefully we can get the people that we're watching to come back and check out the show. I hate it when we have people that are like, "Yeah, I came to be entertained," and then they fucking leave.
And then the internet comes. Don't worry, I'll have a different setup. So this will be the last week for this. So we will be in the office having a good time.
All right, so let's start off where we left off. So Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer. We both saw this, right?
Correct. Yes, we did.
Okay.
And like I said, I was finally getting my our third Ghostbusters. And then before we interrupted, my last things I heard from you where we weren't the audience for the all-female cast. That wasn't us.
Well, my feeling was, you said you didn't really enjoy it. I feel like, hey, we weren't the audience. We weren't the demographic. It was a movie meant for women. It had a female lead, a bunch of female leads. And the fucking male, it was like one of the Avengers, Chris Hemsworth or Chris Pratt or one of those one of them fucking Chris's was like the sexy, stupid secretary was the guy. So It was clearly catered to women. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that. That they did a good job for that demographic, and we're not in that demographic, right?
No, but it tanked. It didn't make money. They didn't think this Ghostbusters was coming out. We got blamed as males because we didn't go see it. I'm like, I don't like any of the females in those roles.
Well, it seems strange to blame us since we weren't the demographic. I can't see how they can.
That's what they did. That's what they did. So.
Oh well, that's not very
Leslie Jones. I think she's funny. I don't think she was funny in that movie. So hopefully she still goes on and does good things. But the new Ghostbusters. What did you think?
Well, what did you think of the trailer? How did you see it? It looks so. My interpretation of it is, it looked like, as far as I can tell, it looks like Egon and Janine have grandkids, not kids, but grandkids. And they move into this building that Egon had, and they slowly discover these relics from a life gone by. And they discover that the Ghostbusters were a thing back in the 80s. Does that sound about right?
That sounds like so the grandkids had no idea Grandpa was a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the hell is this? They're like, wait, whoa. Listen, if your grandfather served in World War II, you know your grandfather served in World War II. You know what I mean? You know what your grandfather did. If your grandfather was an electrician, he was an electrician. Whatever your grandfather did, you knew what he did. If your grandfather was a chemical engineer for a factory, you knew he was a chemical engineer for a factory.
I can kind of buy it, though, because maybe you don't want your family to know that you were out killing ghosts. That's not a very
you had the
kid-friendly job.
Okay, that's great. But they also, if you go by the movie, saved New York.
Yeah,
like twice, right? You know what I mean? Like, you fought Gozer. You gotta be proud of fighting Gozer.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, but you think I'm not off case or off base there with that?
No, I think that's what it looks like to me in the trailer, and I think that it's going to be fine. I think it's. I'm excited for it. I'm Paul Rudd
Paul Rudd
sneaks
is in
in.
it. Yeah, Paul Rudd is stealing this show. Looks good. And the other thing I want to say, back up a little bit, is these kids. They're Egon and Janine's kids. They look like Egon and Janine's kids. Am I wrong to say that? They look
That's
like they
great,
could genetically be their biological kids.
great casting. Is that not
Yeah.
great casting?
But sorry, they're their grandkids, but they look like they could be their kids. But yeah, great casting, absolutely. Pretty cool. I'm gonna say though, I'm not sure. I'm a little bit hesitant because it looks good. And you can't really tell with these trailers, but it also looks like it's got a lot of fan service. So I mean, and you gotta have that. You're gonna have to have that for something like this. But there's a delicate balance where it's a little bit too much. A little bit like, to be honest, The Force Awakens probably crossed a little bit too much into that. And that's a good comparison. This is what it reminded me of, is The Force Awakens, is a little bit too much fan service in The Force Awakens. Some people loved it. It put me off a little bit, even though I love The Force Awakens. And there's an opportunity for them to go a little bit too far into that.
Yeah, but also at the same time, we just want to see the ectos and then you're doing a little fan service, but it's the trailer. You got to get a little. I don't think they'll go full fan service. I hope not.
Well, even like you said, they just want to see Ecto One. Well, that's kind of what I felt like is in The Force Awakens. They had these new characters drive the Millennium Falcon, and now they just have these new characters drive Ecto One. It's just fan service. It's just, hey, wouldn't it be cool to drive Ecto One? And now these kids get to do it. I saw that kind of stuff, and I'm like, I'm not sure I'm on the ride for this.
Okay, hang on. The grandparents, like it's not like the Force. You should then hate the Force Awakens as they steal it, as they steal the biggest piece of garbage in the space world. Like when they steal the Millennium Falcon, it comes out of nowhere. They're just running. There's an explosion. We'll steal that one. Boom.
Yeah,
we'll go steal that one. That's fan service. This one,
fan service.
This one, though, because it's Egon's grandkids. So you're like, yeah, you know what? If you go into your grandfather's old barn, he's probably got an old car in there. His old car.
I mean, also, like, we see Paul Rudd in the marshmallow aisle, and little baby Stay Puft marshmallows are walking around, and it's just, man, we played that note already. Do we got to play it again? Is it always going to be, hey, remember when we used to do this? We're doing it again. Hey, remember this? We put it into this movie again. Hey, remember this from this other movie? We're just recycling everything from the old movies and putting it in this one. There are people who are going to love that, and that's the people who come for the fan service. I'd like to see something new, that they have something, and it does look like it's got a little bit of both, and I can accept the fan service. I can accept it as long as it's got a little bit of both, and it looks like they have something new to say in this universe, and I'm excited to see that, but I'm not sold on if that's what's going to happen.
I am excited because when they're showing this, then now it's getting, instead of getting, 4 million views, it's getting 100 million views, as people are like, you got to see the little Stay Puft marshmallows. Oh, you got to see the Ecto One's got some rust on it. You got to look, and then, they're ripping it through a cornfield or a hayfield. Like the kids took it for a joyride. Like they took Grandpa's vehicle as what kids do. I'm really excited for it. I fan service, as long as, like you said, though, like I don't want the ghost to come back who was in the bottom of the library. Like we're done with that one. But I seen Slimer. Was Slimer not in that one?
I feel like, I don't know. Between this reboot and the last reboot, I'm not sure if Slimer was. I don't recall Slimer being in this particular trailer.
Okay, well, maybe I mix them both up here.
I will say though that the entire trailer kind of does. I mean, you see Janine in it. You see, it looks like it's a completely clean break. Like they're not doing a reboot. It is a continuation of the original story. However, it looks like it's a completely clean break until the last scene, when you hear somebody pick up that red phone and go, "We're closed." Did you catch who that was?
Mm-mm.
You didn't catch who that was? Oh, no. The last scene of the trailer is they pick up that phone and they go, "Yeah, we're not open for business." It was Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, there we go.
So we're gonna have these kids discovering these relics from, they find the trap, they find the what is the Egon, or the meter that detects the ectoplasm or whatever. They've got all these relics. They find Ecto One, and then finally they're watching the trailer on YouTube from this Days Gone By, and they're gonna finally get in contact with the OG, those who are left of the OG Ghostbusters. It's really cool. I'm excited to see it. I'm hesitant. I'm not sure that it's going to be what I want it to be, but we'll see. They've got my interest.
I'll be there on week 1. Day 1, I'll be there. I'll buy tickets. I'll do the JM special. I'll go by myself. I'll buy 2 tickets, one beside me, so nobody else is sitting there, and I will buy 2 tickets and sit by myself.
So we've got Kim Trail in the chat. She is saying that she's back and she didn't like it either. I assume that means the original Ghostbusters reboot with the ladies.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. You tried, but you failed. You just got to admit you failed. And let's not do that again.
I don't think that's fair to say. I think a lot of people that I've talked to really enjoyed it. I realized I wasn't in the demographic. Wasn't for me. It was for some other people, and that's cool.
It's true. Maybe I just like the original ones. Maybe that's why. I'm just, I'm not buying it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty stoked for it. I will go watch it on day 1. I will sit, if I can get early access on a pay-per-view or on Amazon Prime or Amazon or Disney or whatever the hell's running it, I'll get it and I'll watch it and I'll enjoy it.
All right. So speaking of movies that have gone awry, you actually sent me a story about Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney Plus, or Disney, I guess, because of something that happened on Disney Plus. Obviously, this is all over the internet right now. Black Widow was supposed to be a theatrical release, and because of COVID or whatever, I mean, we don't really want to speculate, but I'm sure it's safe to say it's because of COVID. It was also released on Disney Plus. Now there's a lot of legal battles going on. What do you think about this? Where do you fall on this? Are you on Disney Plus or are you on Scarlett Johansson's side?
Her career is over.
Her career is over. Oh,
done. You are done.
Bit the hand that feeds. Is that what you're saying?
Do not go against the corporation, because you know what's going to happen? Disney will buy whatever studio you're going to work for, and they will ensure you shut down. Talk about... Like, if your last contract, who cares? Watch my video. The more eyeballs you can get on your movie, on your piece of artwork, the better off it is for you. It doesn't matter if you stream it at home, if you go to the movie theaters, you already got paid unless you were getting a percentage of the box office.
That's the problem, is she is supposed to get a cut of the theatrical release. That's why she's suing. Is she's supposed to get a cut of the theatrical release.
So you can't go in and say like Adam Andrews paid $30 to watch it at home. I want $5 from Adam. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what she should be able to do, but those are not in her contract. And once it was announced, according to her, these are all things that are out there that you can find. According to her, once it was announced that it would be released on Disney Plus, she tried to renegotiate her contract with Disney and say, hey, I am guaranteed a theatrical cut. What's going on with this streaming release? What are we going to do? Disney just didn't respond, just didn't have anything to do with her, didn't want to renegotiate. They said, we're doing this. Her stance is that this has breached her contract with Disney Plus. And the Wall Street Journal has said that because she's not going to participate in the profits of an exclusive theatrical release, she could lose as much as $50 million because of this. $50 million, that's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, it's nothing to sneeze at, but you also could have probably renegotiated that without telling the world. Does that make sense to you?
Okay, I agree. But in her defense, she is saying that I tried to renegotiate. I did everything I could. I reached out to Disney. I had my lawyers reach out to Disney. Conversation shut down. This is a last resort. This is my last effort. Like, I have no other avenues to explore except for this. Disney has shut down every other opportunity. This is her stance. It's my last effort. I've tried to renegotiate. They're not allowing me to.
To be honest with you, I don't care. I really don't. I don't care. You know what? I don't really care. Maybe now she's another one who's anti-Disney. What they did to my girl Gina, I'm still mad about. So quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, you can preach all you want, but you're working for the devil. You do the devil's bidding. That's all it is, man. You get cut, you get cut.
Okay, but you don't have a little bit of empathy for her because
Nothing at all. Zero.
zero, because they went into this with an understanding. She went into it with an understanding. Disney said, hey, we want you to do this movie. We got X amount of time. You're going to spend 3 months or 6 months or a year away from your family. In order to incentivize you to do that, we're going to give you a cut of the theatrical release. You could make up to $50 million off of that. And then once she's done the work, all of a sudden they go, you know what? We're not going to put it in theaters. We're going to just put it on this Disney Plus, which I think it did both, but Disney Plus cut into it wasn't the agreement she signed up for. She's not getting as much money. Her time has been devalued. The main reason she did it was to get this big chunk of change.
She got 20 million.
She did get 20 million, but she didn't get that extra 50.
Well, she's
you
gonna
got to understand. You got to have some sympathy for somebody who signed up for something, agreed to do something, and then once she's done the work, all of a sudden the payment, what you're getting out of it, we're going to change that part. We got what we want out of you, but what you're getting out of it, we're going to change that part.
But you're all on a chance.
Of course, it's on a chance.
So what if I said I'm not going to watch that? Like, now I'm done with it. Now I'm not going to watch it. Sure. But you know what I mean, though? So it's always a chance. Yeah. So, but if you lose that money, do you have to give your paycheck back to the company?
No.
So, okay. Great. So then you're in it. You get your $20 million. Then you get I get like 1% or 0.01% of whatever the box office brings in. Okay, cool.
But that doesn't include streaming though. She has no recourse to get any money out of streaming.
Okay. Now, if I'm not mistaken, streaming just started happening last week. So your contracts and your old agents that aren't up on everything, you got to get in on streaming rights. I mean, everybody's got them. If your agent's too dumb to get you streaming rights, that's on your agent. Go after your agency for the $50 million if you think you're owed that.
Well, in fairness, when this movie was sort of being negotiated and they were in the negotiations for this, there was no COVID-19. There was no, this was all done ahead of time. And afterwards, they said, you know what, COVID-19, we're going to, and that's actually the thing that Disney is saying. They've got a quote here. Disney is saying, there is no merit whatsoever to this filing. The lawsuit is especially sad and distressing in its callous disregard for the horrific, prolonged global effect of the COVID-19 pandemic. That is Disney saying that, hey, it's not our fault COVID happened to fucking roll out. They're saying we don't owe you anything. COVID cut into our profits. So this is us trying to make the best of it, but we're not going to let you participate into it. And you also got to wonder is now, let's say it's $30 to go to the theater. Well, it's also $30 to buy it on fucking Disney, but they don't got to give Scarlett Johansson a cut of that. So Disney is set to make even more profits on top of that off of her work, and they don't got to kick her back any, despite the agreement that they had ahead of time.
Correct. So next time you go to negotiate, do what some of the NBA stars do and get stock in the company. If you're going to do a massive job for Disney, like Robert Downey Jr., this is what I would have did. Give me money in the Marvel Studios. Start me off on Iron Man real small. I'm going to go up. I'll make $50 million a movie, but give me some stock options because then I'm going to get paid for it. Then you put it wherever the hell you want.
Okay, but like two can play that game because her argument is that I did have something in the contract to protect me against this happening. And it was that there would be an exclusive theatrical release. That's in her contract. And Disney broke that contract.
So then if they just pulled it right now from Disney Plus and just said, we're done, like we're not going to show it, it's only theatrics now, does that kind of fair it all out?
Well, no, because it's already been released on streaming. So they have done some damages in my opinion, they've done damages to Scarlett Johansson. She was guaranteed in her contract a theatrical exclusive release, and then they put it on streaming without negotiating with her anyway around that, any compensation. To me, I mean, if we're going legally, and you're taking it legally, you're saying her agents should have negotiated better. Well, her agents did negotiate an exclusive theatrical release.
Well, it's too bad you didn't get the streaming rights as well. That's on you guys. That's not on anybody else. Now, if Disney wants to be an asshole, they could say we're pulling every Scarlett Johansson film, and you could screw all your old coworkers out of money as well if they're getting money on streaming, right? So,
but I mean, you're still not addressing the fact that they did guarantee an exclusive theatrical release.
Yet again, it's on deaf ears. You're looking at me and you're asking me to. Scarlett Johansson is asking me to show her love Show her love. Okay, I'm going to show you love. I think you're a strong female character who I actually really enjoy. But you're not showing love to other people in the company that had the same issues for getting fired, what I still think is non-merit. Other things to that nature, you were bum on. You didn't want to. You didn't want to rock the boat. Now that Disney's using their muscle on you, now it's wrong. So instead of turning it around and going, I'm doing this for other people that I didn't give the opportunity to, you went selfishly. Now it sounds like there may be a couple more lawsuits coming Disney's way, it looks like. So we'll have to go from there.
Absolutely. This has opened up the floodgates because Emma Stone has said, oh yeah, now that I see that they did us dirty, we've got some legal repercussions, and she is considering legal repercussions against Disney Plus as well, because they did the same thing to her. And this is going to change the industry forever. We're going to see, I mean, obviously there are going to be better negotiations. There are going to be fail safes put in case of streaming in the future. But these were contracts that were negotiated before this streaming thing happened. So these people, they feel like they've done their part, they've done everything, and now all of a sudden Disney has changed the terms at the last minute after the work's already been done.
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, you left another coworker who I love. I still love Gina. She's my girl. You left her to high and dry. I have no sympathy for you. Disney did it to her. Nobody cared. They were like, you know what? You had kind of an inappropriate social media post. Oh, you're a Donald Trump supporter. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. And instead of her paying out, they're like, we're getting rid of you. There was never any backlash from anybody. Nobody said anything. They just said, let her go. We don't want to go against Disney. Now that Disney's done you a dirty, you want everybody to jump on your side. Best of luck, honey. But honestly, best of luck. You're a talented actress. You really are. Emma Stone, too, you're an amazing talent as well. I just think that your agencies didn't help you out in your contracts. And because you didn't help out another female that got bullied by Disney, I have no sadness for you. Too bad.
But I mean, those are completely different things. That's Disney ending their contract with this person because of something they did. This is two people who have done their job to the best of their ability. And then even though they had a legally binding agreement to have an exclusive theatrical release, Disney said, we're not going to do that.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it happens. Unfortunately, Disney's the boss. And if they go, there's a different avenue, we need to get more money and more revenue for it so we can make more money, we'll do it. But if the movie falls, if the budget of the movie is $100 million and you only made $50 million in your opening week and it's considered a flop, then give me back your $20 million in salary. Had to recoup our costs somehow.
But that's not the agreement that they had. That's a whole different conversation. That's not when they sign an actor, and Scarlett Johansson is a big name in the industry. They say, we want this much of your time. This is what we're going to give you 20 mil up front. And we're going to give you cuts of the theatrical release. And we're going to guarantee exclusive theatrical release. Okay, that's worth my time. I'll do your job. And then after they go, you know what? You got 20 mil. That's good enough. You're not getting the rest of this. We're not even going to put it in theaters. Just going right to some exclusive streaming service that we own that you don't get a cut of. And we're going to charge the same amount.
But
they didn't. People are going to go.
No, they didn't.
We're going to take all that money for ourselves.
Okay, so then what happens to the places like Ontario didn't have a place open? We didn't have a theater open. We didn't get to go to the theater. So now I got to call Disney and go, oh, so because I'm in COVID and my government says I can't go, I can't watch this movie. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find somehow a shitty cam copy on the internet and I'm going to watch a cam copy of it. Well, Disney's like, we don't want to stream it, but you know what? We'll try this out. It's a pandemic. I don't think she's going to get any money out of it because I'm sure Disney's still going to cut her a check anyways.
Well, Disney
whatever it is.
Well, they've said they're not willing. Well, they have not been willing to renegotiate so far.
No. They're going to cut. They're still going to get the check for the box office growth. You know what I mean? So the box office gross, my apologies. So she'll still get that check. It's just not going to be off. So if one says it's going to be $50 million, well, who knows if it was going to be 50? Iron Man movie, I bet you Robert Downey Jr. is getting 50. An Avengers movie, sure. I don't know if she had enough power to carry herself to a $50 million.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We don't know that would have made her an extra $50 million. We don't know that. But there is the potential. And that's a little bit in her favor because now the box office if she has the legal right, and I feel, I'm not a lawyer, but I feel like she has a legal standing here because she was guaranteed a theatrical exclusive release. Maybe she doesn't have to perform that well because maybe the movie wouldn't have performed that well, but nobody knows. But in a court of law, she might be able to argue, well, who knows? Maybe it could have. I deserve this kind of money. Anyway, that's all speculation. I am going to agree with you. Perhaps she wouldn't have made that much money off a theatrical release, but perhaps that doesn't matter. Maybe she's going to get paid because she's in the legal right in this situation.
Something tells me her career is close to over.
So. Oh, and that's the thing, is she's biting the hand that feeds. So there is a dangerous game here being played, because even though she, in my opinion, has the legal right to pursue these options, there are people who are going to say, she's difficult to work with. She sued Disney. I don't want to work with somebody that sued Disney. Well, am I going to get sued if I?
Well, because if you're the arts guy, okay, now maybe I made this suit a little too tight. You know what? Maybe the special effects guy, did I make that explosion big enough for her? Am I going to get sued because now the movie's bad? A director's going to go, so if the movie, if I do the movie the way I want to do the movie, but your acting isn't that good and everybody's pissed at you for going after Disney and the movie bombs, are you going to sue me because you're the actress and you should have brought in at least $100 million? Gee, that's where you get into it, right? And that's why I think Emma Stone is kind of like I want to sue, but I don't know if I want to sue. I kind of want to wait because you don't want to jump in too, and then the two of you are sitting off in no man's land, and waiting to see what happens. I think right now you just take your lump. I know it's 50 million, possibility of 50 million. But I mean, I think Space Jam beat them in week 2, so it's not like they were number one for 10 weeks or whatever it was. Then their opening week was good, and then after that, it tailed off.
Is Space Jam on a streaming service though?
Yes, it is. It's also on. Okay. It's also on. I believe it is Amazon. Well, Amazon has it. So.
Okay. All right. Well, that's an interesting point. It's an interesting point. It's all legal. It's all legal mumbo jumbo. I mean,
I'd be interested to see how it plays out though, because I mean, it's everybody now is going to have. We also want money if it goes to digital release.
Oh yeah,
I want that for sure.
In the future, absolutely. There's going to be things in the contracts to make sure people get a cut of the digital release and all that. And that's absolutely going to be there. But this is this weird transition phase where those things weren't in her contract, but they did have things that guaranteed an exclusive theatrical release. That was in her contract. So she does have a legal ground to stand on, but we're going to have to see how it plays out. I don't know, man. I think we both were kind of on different pages on this one, but that's okay.
Skyler, best of luck, and I will never see you in anything again. Best of luck, my friend.
Well, we'll see. She may have the legal right, but that may not mean she has the
moral right.
It may not. I don't know about moral right.
No, what? I'll give it to her. She has legal right, but how would you say that?
Well, what I was gonna say is she may have the legal right, but it may not be the best for her career in the long run to pursue these legal options.
There it is. There we are, buddy. That's right.
All right. So we got out of movie news. Let's keep with entertainment news. Martin Shkreli, Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with. Have you heard about this?
A little bit, man. When you sent it to me today, I wasn't too sure. You have to explain it to me. I think I got something in the back of my head, but I don't want to talk out of turn.
Okay, so I'm going to go through the entire history of what we know about Martin Shkreli. It's not going to be every fucking detail of his life, but everything we need to know that's relevant to this story. Basically, in 2015, Daraprim, there was a meme that was going around everywhere. I think everybody saw it. Was Daraprim went from $13.50 a tablet to $750 overnight. Martin Shkreli's name was all over the news. Everybody hated this guy. Most hated guy in the world. Didn't do anything legally wrong. Just exploited people with a terrible, terrible disease by jacking the price up to make more profits. Later, he was jailed for 7 years for not that. A lot of people conflate these two stories. He was jailed for cheating investors out of profits. He had a scam to cheat investors out of profits. Was sent to jail for 7 years. Before this, though, he purchased the Wu-Tang Clan album Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. Martin Shkreli paid $2 million for it. He's a professional troll too, I'm pretty sure, because he also said that he didn't want to even listen to it. He just bought it to keep it from the fans. And now it has been seized by the US government, and they're not allowed to disclose who bought it or what they paid for it, but they have disclosed that it is enough to pay more than the $7 million owed, and it is substantially more than Martin Shkreli paid for it. So what do you think about all that?
So does Martin Shkreli get the money for that?
No, the people,
government.
the investors would get that money, and then
Okay.
I guess the government, it would go to pay off the crimes that he was convicted of. That he has.
Okay, there it is. I couldn't figure out when you said the name, and I kept saying it in my head. I couldn't figure out who he was.
Okay,
I love that guy.
You love that guy. He's the hated guy, most hated guy on the internet.
That guy's my favorite guy in the world. Have you ever seen interviews? Have you ever seen interviews with this guy?
I have, and he's a piece of shit.
This guy's amazing. I love this guy. With that pill that was $1,000 a pill or whatever it was my favorite. He's like, you can't afford it. Yeah, just fill out this paperwork and you get it for free.
Yeah, he did, and I'm gonna back off a little bit. He did say that that he raised it from $1,350 to $750 to get money out of
insurance companies.
And he said, if you don't have insurance companies, let me know. I'll get it to you for free. It's just a technicality. I don't know about all that. In my opinion, when I hear him say that stuff, it sounds like lip service. It sounds like backpedaling to look good in the media.
It is, but nobody goes after them when you get your Medicaid bill and it's $55 for an asprin. Do you know what I mean? Like a 3 cents aspirin. So I kind of understand where he's coming from. The guy was a playboy that I don't know. He was a facade. He thought he was a playboy and really wasn't. And ended up getting his hand slapped, and he did scam some people out of it. Yeah. But he is the ultimate internet troll. He really is.
Scammed investors, bought this Wu-Tang album, said he doesn't even plan to listen to it, and he's just going to lock it up so none of you people will get to listen to it. Bam! Now he's in jail. Now this Shaolin, whatever it is, Shaolin Monks, whatever the fuck it's called, album has been purchased by somebody else. Do you think it'll ever see the light of day?
Absolutely.
You think it will? Okay.
If you're doing it, you got to put it out and you got to make money.
Yeah.
But here's another problem. As we talked about contractual obligations, let's with the last story, this one comes out. Now, this is a fun one. If he puts whoever bought this album, they put it out. Yeah. And this month, and then they just go, whole new Wu-Tang. I see Wu-Tang shirts all over Ontario. Everywhere. Everybody seems to have a Wu-Tang shirt but me, I guess. Sure. But you see it, you're like, this kid's 12. What do you have a Wu-Tang shirt on? You're like, oh, Ghostface. I'm like, dude, you're not even old enough to know who Ghostface Killer is. Okay. But now they start making money off that. Whereas maybe some of the Wu-Tang Clan isn't the richest. Are they going after him now? Are they going to go after this guy? Is it worth him to release it? These are all questions you got to think in your head.
It's a lot to consider. Let's play the hypothetical game. Let's say hypothetically, a record label bought this album off of I don't know if it's really the estate, but off of the U.S. government that seized it from Martin Shkreli. Let's just pretend that a record label purchased it. Now a record label can put it out. I don't know if any member of the Wu-Tang would have the legal right. I don't know how that works because you are using their voices and their performances.
They're you're using their.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if they'd get, because if they sold it to Martin Shkreli, I don't really know. One way or the other, though, all I can say for sure, maybe the Wu-Tang makes a little bit of money off of it. Maybe they don't. It is the ultimate performance, ultimate hype stunt to get this out, right? Publicity stunt. The ultimate publicity stunt. Wasn't planned. It wasn't a planned publicity stunt, but the idea of the most evil man in the world fucking buys it, then he gets jailed. He says, nobody's going to listen to it. And then he gets jailed and it gets seized. And then a record company does the good deed of taking it from him and produces it and sells it to the masses. It's the ultimate publicity stunt.
What if then in a magical hypothetical way, the evil genius from prison already has it on MP3 format and gets one of his cronies that's out to send it out for free to everybody, and that album becomes $0.
Well, I would think that since he no longer owns the rights to it, if he did that, he'd put himself in even more legal trouble. So
what's he going for? No, he could have been like, I've had it on this website forever. It should be when I owned it, and they'd be like, shit.
But again, and I'm not a lawyer, but I would think that with purchasing that album comes the distribution rights and all of that. So if you happen to have had it or whatever and you distribute it anyway, that's going to be a legal matter that you're going to get into some trouble for. So I don't think we're going to see that happen again. I think this is the ultimate karma. Everybody, like you said it before, everybody loves Wu-Tang. You see these Wu-Tang shirts all over.
Yeah, it's new material.
And I think that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to buy it just out of spite towards Martin Shkreli. They're going to support the Wu-Tang to say fuck you to this guy. It's the ultimate story. Listen, I don't want to talk too much about pro wrestling, but Roddy Piper tells a story that when he was a commentator trying to break into wrestling, they wanted to call him, oh no, it was Raven. He said, Roddy Piper told Raven, we want you to be snotty, Scotty, get caught with your finger up your nose, and somebody clicked a picture of it. Raven would sell those pictures to everybody and he'd say, don't buy these pictures. And everybody would buy them to say, fuck you. It's the ultimate. They get to say, fuck you to Martin Shkreli, and we support Wu-Tang. It's an ultimate marketing.
It is. No, it absolutely is. Right. And it's fantastic. I'm excited for it. I just want to see, I'm interested to see what happens with it. I hope we get to hear it. That's another thing too, though. Like, you want to hear stuff that, like, it's almost like it's new material. Like when Chappelle just had those 2 specials, Netflix bought them, pulled them off the shelf, basically blew them off, gave them to Netflix. They were kind of old, but they were brand. It was new material. That's always exciting when you hear, like, you go, oh shit, nice. You know, you're like, right on, we get some new material. I'm interested. I hope we get to hear it.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm not a huge Wu-Tang fan. I've listened to a little bit of it, but I'm going to check this out just to say fuck you to Martin Shkreli.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to listen to it because I'm support my boy. Make sure I don't want to hear any of his shit.
How do we always end up on the opposite side of things in these?
Why? Because I see the world in a little different light than you do, my friend.
Apparently. Yeah, you like the bad guys.
Everybody I cheer for the bad guys in the movies.
Well, that brings us to possibly the last story. I don't know. We might have one more that we've been talking about, but that brings us to the last story. I got a feeling we're going to have different points of view on this one. Have you heard any news about Tucker Carlson in the last week?
Yeah, he was fishing or something.
Fishing.
I heard about him, so I have gotten rid of all my cable for CNN and Fox News, so I don't hear. But I heard Don Lemon talking about him on Twitter, so I had a peek. But why don't you inform our lovely fans of what is going on?
All right, so there's a viral video that was posted on Instagram of Tucker Carlson. He was at a fishing store in Montana. A person by the name of Don Bailey posted it, and the store was actually called Don Bailey, but there's no relation. It's kind of a strange coincidence there, but a user by the name of Don Bailey posted a video of Tucker Carlson. He confronted him, told him, you're the worst human being known to mankind. Tucker Carlson said, I'm not going to debate you. He said, I'm here with my daughter. Leave me alone. This is not the place. And he says, I don't give a fuck if you're here with your daughter. You're the worst human being on the planet. And a lot of people are outraged. A lot of people are outraged for Tucker Carlson. A lot of people are outraged against Tucker Carlson. I have a feeling we're gonna see this one differently. So what do you think?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Always. I'm gonna say this: if you're going after a purely right conservative that are usually gun supporters that come out and support guns, make sure you have one, because if he would have pulled his gun out and shot him, he probably would have been okay with that.
Okay.
Like him or not, like, I don't like some people on the news. I'm not going to attack them. I'll avoid them. Like, if I see them, I'm like, oh, that's the news guy, whatever have you. Like, hey, but I'm not going to, like, if I see Don Lemon or Alfredo Como, I wouldn't I wouldn't go out of my way to go like, hey, man, what's going on? You're an idiot. No, you know what? I don't have time in my life for you. I don't give you time now. I'm just going to move on. You know what? If you're like, hey, I'm so-and-so, I'd be like, you're a douchebag. You know what I mean? Like, or I might make a comment. You know me, I like comments. If I had a couple, I'd be like, yeah, why don't you go to a real news station, like MTV or something? I would troll him. I don't know. I don't know. What are your opinions on this? I wouldn't go after him.
I think the guy's 100% right. I think this motherfucker's in the public eye, and you see him out in public and you say, hey, fuck you, you're an asshole. You're going to hear what I have to say about you. I think what you're doing is wrong, and go fuck yourself. I think he's got every right to do that.
Oh my God. Of course we don't agree. I figured this would be the one we'd agree on.
No, man. fuck Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson's a piece of shit. This guy's a liar. He misinforms the world. He gets people fired up. He lies to everybody. He's a Fox News idiot. And then he's out in public. This guy goes, hey, there's that fucking asshole. I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. And he does it.
Yeah, you might not like him. Don't don't go up to him when he's with his fucking family. Like, come on. Like, dude,
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Dude, you know what? Okay, listen.
In front of a guy's kid.
Listen, you and I are
a little bit past the line where I think it's okay.
You and I are sitting out at a bar, and like you and I are at a bar, and somebody doesn't like me on the show. You come up to me and have a conversation if it's you and I. You know, me and a couple of boys out having a pint. Come on down. By all means, I'll gladly talk to you. Here's one thing you're not going to do, though. You want to debate something? Let's debate something. You don't fucking overtalk me because I'll backhand and I'll shoot you. But listen, here's the deal, man. Listen, and then Como got, and I'm going to use Como as an example because Como got caught on his CNN show this week, called out by somebody who called him a hypocrite, and he was not happy about it on the show. He said it was my show. Get this guy off my show. And then Don Lemon came out and
okay. So what does this have to do with Tucker Carlson?
What I'm saying is that the left doesn't understand. They do not allow it. And when they get called out, it's big news. It's don't do it. But then you attack some guy with his daughter. Are you crazy? His kids, his wife and kids.
Hasn't Don Lemon actually said that he supports Tucker Carlson? That was the interesting thing. Is it seems like everyone I've seen is like, yeah, you shouldn't go after Tucker Carlson in public. That's not okay. Left, right, indifferent. They're all kind of. They're
entertainment. They're entertainers. I want them to say that out loud. They're entertainers. They're not news people. They're entertainers.
Well, Tucker Carlson is the worst of those. He's the
But so is Don. And to me, I can't stand Don Lemon. I can't.
Why can't you stand? That's interesting. I think Don Lemon is fairly impartial. I think.
No. Don Lemon is a racist towards white people. He's called out. I had a black cop from Baltimore, I believe. I can't remember his name. They've gotten into it, said you're race baiting again. These are the issues. And he was like, no, these aren't the issues. I support Black Lives Matter.
Do you not think that Tucker Carlson is the worst race baiting person on the planet?
He does kind of give.
He does absolutely. That's his whole shtick. He's like he's a cartoon fucking character, a right-wing cartoon character. He used to wear a fucking bow tie.
Yeah, Don Lemon is the same thing, but on the left.
I don't agree, but
because you're a left-leaning psycho. Listen, don't go after his kids. These guys are they're entertainers. You need to understand that. They are entertainers. That's all they are. They don't produce news. They just produce entertainment. Be careful what you do. Don't go after his kids. Because another thing, too, that you got to be careful of, Tucker Carlson's probably in a right-leaning state. I would assume that's where he's living. Right while he's in Atlanta. Is that where he was?
This actually took place in Montana. He does not live in Montana.
Okay.
Because barely anyone lives in Montana, but he was visiting there for a fishing trip. With that said, you say that he's entertainment. I still think you need to be responsible for the things that you say. You have freedom of speech, but you still have to be held accountable. And, I'm not going to say it would be cool if this guy fucking punched Tucker Carlson because that would not be allowed.
No.
That would be over the line, but it would be kind of cool if this guy punched Tucker Carlson.
Yet again, on this show, I do not, violence is no-go. Adam is on his own on this one. Adam's an idiot. Adam is speaking out of turn. Do not punch anybody over their political views. Don't fall into Adam's race baiting, guys. Just they're entertainers.
Race baiting? I've never
race baited. You want to punch somebody in the
for being a racist.
Not race baiting, left and right baiting.
For being a racist. For being, he's an anti-vaxxer. He says not to get the vaccine. He has actually said, and here's the other thing is, he said you should confront people who are wearing masks in public. He says, be confrontational, call the police if you see a kid who has a mask on, call 911. He's encouraged people to confront people for wearing masks in public. Tucker Carlson has the vaccine. I'm going to fucking say there's no way he works in this office building without the fucking vaccine. He's lying to you. He's lying to everybody that watches him. He stirs up controversy because he knows it'll get him money. He's a piece of shit. And like this guy said, he's the worst human being ever.
Now, as we go back to it, Don Lemon is a piece of shit as well. I support police officers and do not believe in them getting injured, as Don Lemon has doubled down and said. Now, CNN is the same problem.
Tucker Carlson. Do you think he's a piece of shit?
No.
Why?
He's an entertainer. I don't care.
Entertainer. Okay, he's an entertainer. Sure, call him an entertainer, but he presents himself as a journalist, which he is a journalist, and he's stirring up. He's stirring up right and left wing.
For
he's
entertaining. That's entertainment.
He's a journalist. He's on a news show, Jean-Marc. You don't get to just say entertainment. It doesn't.
We've talked about this before, Angry Man. We talked about this last week. CNN and Fox News are entertainment to me. There's nothing. They're entertainment. There's no facts. You want facts? You come here. Come to the internet shows that do it, and we give you the most facts that we could achieve. They're entertainers. I understand you don't like him. He's a character. You're right. He's a cartoon character. I don't care about Tucker Carlson. I'm going to go to bed. Tucker Carlson's not going to get me mad. I don't care about Don Lemon. I don't care about any of them. They all have their agendas. They all have their own shows. They all push their own agendas. They're probably all sitting back somewhere having a beer once in a while when there's no cameras on. Okay. But they need to. They're entertaining you to give you what you want to hear.
Okay, so let's pretend for a second that there was a human being that actually has the opinions that Tucker Carlson says. Is that person a terrible person? They're not entertaining, but let's just pretend that this person who isn't Tucker Carlson has the same points of view and goes on there and actually means them.
That's fine. That's your First Amendment.
And is he a bad person?
Yes, I don't want violence.
Yeah, okay, there we go. He's a bad person. We agree. Yeah. Whether he calls himself an entertainer or not, he's a piece of shit.
Exactly. And the same with Don Lemon, right? Like, we're on the same page. I know you brought up Tucker Carlson, but I was giving you like a left example. But yeah, we're on the same page. They're both entertainers to me. They get paid like entertainers. They both produce false news.
Do you think that people should be held responsible for the things that they say?
Absolutely.
That's all I need to. That's where the conversation ends. Never mind if they say it under the guise of saying, I'm an entertainer. He says this shit. It's terrible. It's irresponsible. It's race baiting. He tells people not to get the vaccine. He kills people. He stirs up left and right controversy, polarizes the country, and then he goes, well, it's entertainment. That doesn't fly with me, man.
But I know, but I try to give you an example of on the left, like an example, and you got all butthurt because you know it's true.
I don't care about Don Lemon. Don Lemon is not the conversation we're
having. What I was saying is now what happens if somebody were to go up to Don Lemon from the left and do the exact same thing? What happens then? Are you still mad? I don't think
that Don Lemon has said anything as bad as Tucker Carlson.
Of course he has.
Come on. Has he told people not to get vaccinated?
Nobody's told people to kill police officers.
No, he hasn't. What? Now you're just making shit up. He said to kill police officers. Show me a quote where he says kill police officers.
I will find you
quotes. Bullshit.
I'll find you quotes. We're okay.
Bullshit. There's no quote that exists of Don Lemon.
It's also
you should kill police officers.
And Don Lemon's also said burn things down.
Bullshit.
All right. You're not happy with it. I know. I don't want to give you a quote.
That's not true. You're lying. You're lying.
All right, man. All right. Whatever you think, man. I don't find these things on CNN or anything like that or on anything. I just follow stuff. I know
you won't find a quote of Don Lemon saying to kill police on CNN because it doesn't exist.
Yes, I understand.
You will never find a quote of that. I guarantee it. I don't even have to Google it.
I'm not even going to Google it. I'm just writing stuff down for after the show. Jesus Christ.
All right, man. Let's talk about something better. You want to talk about bennifer?
Not really. Well, okay.
Let's
talk about it, right? I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
bennifer. Apparently, Ben Affleck and J-Lo are back together.
I have so many questions.
What are your questions?
Let's make two things clear here. Don't ever make a Geely 2. I mean, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that at all. 2, I thought she was crazy. I thought she's gone through men. She eats men. People have come out and said she's really hard to live with. She's very demanding, all this stuff. And all of a sudden, my boy Ben Affleck is back with his girl J-Lo.
Yeah, I didn't know she was crazy, but I can see the man-eater thing. She definitely goes through men.
He eats them crazy.
What's the joke? Is she collects wedding rings like Thanos collects Infinity Stones?
That's exactly it. She's got more rings than Tom Brady, I think. Yeah. But no, she's got more rings than Ric Flair's got championships.
There you go.
No, but would you ever go back with an ex?
No, I think that once I close the door, it's time to move on. That's my stance.
I've tried it once. It doesn't work. You just close the door and move right along.
Yeah.
But But now maybe down the when did they date? It seemed like forever ago, did it not?
I actually have the information here. I had to look into this a little bit. I wasn't sure if we were going to get into this story
Because
or
it was
not, but
Jenny from the Block, right? He was in the Jenny from the Block video.
yes,
Oh, it was
yeah.
Geely was what, 2001?
It was 17 years ago, a 17-year hiatus. Between the two of them, they now have 5 children, and lots of career ups and career downs between both of them. So now they're able to get back together. I mean, it's Instagram official. I don't know if you saw this, but for her 52nd birthday, she had a series of photos of her looking fine at 52 in a bathing suit. You click the next one, and then the last one is her making out with Ben Affleck. What the hell?
We're both jealous. We're both jealous.
Yeah,
you know what? Dude, my favorite though is like paparazzi shots now are back. I'm stoked. You see one like he's got his hand on her ass. I'm like, yes, you examine that ass. See if it was as good as it was 17 years ago.
And that was like their attempt to recreate this Jenny from the Block video, because that was what he did in that video, which I'm actually a little bit ashamed that I know this. I'm not really into this. You're
not into pop music. I am. So
well,
to me,
it's
good.
Pop music, but I'm not as into like the paparazzi people's relationship thing. But this is what's going on in the world right now.
I think it's great. Oh man, I mean, good for them. And 17 years later, though, like you kind of do another loop. Now, what's a successful relationship like? Like, is it like, are they good for 5 years and then you can say, yeah, you tried it out again? Like, or is it like, is it going to tank? And like, are we going to take bets on their relationship?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is to me, once how do I say it? In a relationship, once things go sour, you can't fix it. You know, you go back. How do I say it? You go back into that space and you forget. You look at it through rose-colored glasses, and then you get back in that space and you start living in it, and you start seeing, oh yeah, I remember that's why this didn't work before, and oh, this is what I do that doesn't work for this person, and the other person that I was with didn't mind it, but this person, and slowly but surely these things get worse than they were. You're soon in the same spot as you were in the last relationship, and it's no good.
Then you look at like her past, what you see, like even if you were just to start dating her, like if you or I were dating J-Lo, let's just use this as a hypothetical, you start dating her, then you start looking at her ex-boyfriends. You're like, A-Rod owns a ball team, Hall of Famer, steroid guy. You look at all these good-looking guys, you're like, holy fuck. Like, she looks at somebody else, you're like, what the fuck do I have on this guy? Like, I'm fucking screwed.
So you bring up an interesting point. Because the other thing that I notice is J-Lo and Ben Affleck were together when fucking Ben Affleck was at the height of his career, and then he starts fucking coming down, and she starts looking for somebody else that's at the height of their career. And now Ben Affleck's starting to come back. He's been in a lot of different movies, been directing, been in his career starting to have a bit of a resurgence. He's Batman, and I know he's had a little bit of addiction problems and whatever, but his career's back up. J-Lo's not quite where she was, and they kind of meet here, and all of a sudden J-Lo's like, maybe we can make it work
financially. Right now, if you think you watch a J-Lo, maybe I'll watch Armageddon or something after we're done here on Disney Plus, or maybe you download a J-Lo song because you talked about Jenny from the Block. Maybe you went to YouTube to watch that video. So all of a sudden now that's getting some buys. So financially makes sense to me, right?
So do you think this is a situation where her career started to exceed his, so she left him in the dust? Now that they're kind of coming back to the same spot, they're about the same fame level, same success level, maybe they can make it work again?
No,
what's going on?
No, I think what happened with them was that they were both, like you said, they were both so high up on the chain. You just get pulled so far apart. J-Lo's got a movie career. She was doing some acting then. Same with Ben was acting, directing. He was doing all this stuff. You just get pulled away, and all of a sudden you're like, man, you know what? I'm good. Like, I'm not, So now that maybe their careers, now they're in more control, because you're not going to tell J-Lo or Ben Affleck where they got to be and when they got to be there. They'll be like, fuck you. Like, you know who I am? Like, they had names back then, but now they both have a name. You don't really care about that, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, bottom line is, if they're happy together, I'm happy for them. I hope they can make it work. You never know. Sometimes sometimes things don't work out and people can revisit an old relationship and
It's true.
all those problems go away. And suddenly they're like, this is where I should have been the whole time. Great for them. Hopefully they live happily ever after. Maybe we'll get a poll going on when they'll break up, but here's hoping they don't.
Yeah, it's true. Absolutely. Correct.
All right, man. You got anything else you want to say today?
No. Don Lemon did not, I repeat, did not say kill police. He was supporting Black Lives Matter and burning things down. That's what he was. There we go.
So we didn't say kill police. All right.
Correct.
I'm glad we can agree on that.
Correct. We're good on that one. I didn't want to leave the show with that.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
But he does not like white people and he does not like police.
I don't know about all that. You know that Don Lemon is gay, right?
Do you know what I love Don Lemon? And can I tell you when I love Don Lemon?
Can I finish my story?
I don't care. I don't care about his sexuality. What does it matter? I don't
Don
like Don
Lemon.
Lemon.
You have said that Don Lemon is this biased person, that he's whatever. Don Lemon is gay, and he has had anti-gay people on his show and let them say whatever they want. You got to give him credit for that.
I do. The only time I really like Don Lemon is when he's shit-faced on New Year's. It's my favorite time to watch Don Lemon.
I'm not a Don Lemon fan. In fact, I have a lot of issues with Don Lemon, but I am going to say that he's not as bad as he's more left-leaning. Tucker Carlson is right, but as left-leaning as he is, he's nowhere near as bad as Tucker Carlson. That's my stance.
They're both entertainers to me, man. So
you don't get to just brush stuff off as entertainment. You still have to be held accountable for what you say.
They should not be news. Both of those should not be news people. They shouldn't be news, but that's neither here nor there, right?
I guess, man. Anyway.
Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget, we're also on TikTok at the No Offense Show as well.
Yeah.
TikTok.
I've been putting up a couple TikTok clips to try and get people to check out our show. I've also made an Instagram. Do you have an Instagram account, John Mark?
Well, the dog does. I don't. What the hell do I need Instagram for?
Because I've been looking for you on the Instagram. I figure I should follow. I think I found you on TikTok. The No Offense Show has found you on TikTok. I figured I should probably find you on Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah, we should. I'll follow it.
I will follow the dog at least. And if you ever make an Instagram account, I'll follow that.
I don't really follow. I don't really post anything. I just use it to fucking see. I don't even use Instagram.
Sure. So yeah, we've got a TikTok. Hopefully that'll get us some views and get people checking us out. One of the videos is doing pretty well on TikTok, but at the end of the day, we're a YouTube show, so it's just advertisement. We've got an Instagram again. Hopefully it'll bring some more eyes on the actual show that we do. With that said, if you guys happen to see anybody out there who maybe they're talking about something we're talking about, please send them one of our clips. It helps us out a lot. We're really trying to get the word out there. I think we're doing a pretty good job making this show. So help us out, show some people, share some